Muscles. Exotics. Crews fighting for territory in the city. And it all gets settled in the canyon.
Hey there everyone, this is Ray Carcillo for Classic Game Room, and today we are looking at Need for Speed Carbon, a launch title for the Wii. Set up as a direct sequel, Need for Speed Carbon takes place immediately after the events of Need for Speed Most Wanted. The game opens up with the player remembering the events of the fateful night when he was forced from Rockport City due to a police setup for the street race that was going to take place there. Forced now to take refuge in the beautiful city of Palmont, the player must take down those who set him up and take control of Palmont to clear his name and regain his street cred with the racing community from Rockport. Need for Speed Carbon is your standard street racing game. It features checkpoint, sprint, and circuit races. Unlike its predecessor though, it lacks the drag racing mode and instead replaces it with the much more popular drift races that were featured in Need for Speed Underground and Underground 2. Need for Speed Carbon also features unique boss races that come as you conquer various areas of Palmont. These boss races, referred to as canyon events, are based off the popular Japanese togue races that bring new challenges to the game as you and your opponent are not only racing each other, but trying to make sure you don't fly off into the abyss below as you squeal through hairpin turns on these dangerous mountain roads. Now, since the plot of Need for Speed Carbon has you taking on street racing gangs, the odds wouldn't be too fair if you couldn't build your own gang as well. Able to have 3 people in your crew at a time, each brings unique talents to your stable, not only on the race course, but in the garage as well. From offering car part discounts in the garage, to pointing out hidden paths on the race course, who you add to your stable could be the difference between winning and losing most races. And since they work for you, if they should win the race instead, you still get credit for completing the course and conquering that area of Palmont. The customization with Carbon doesn't end there though, as you can take on any car you acquire from any of the 3 car classes in the game, Muscle, Exotic, and Tuner, and stylize it in any way you want. Paint jobs, rims, logos, spoilers, all can be added, removed, and now specially sculpted to your car's frame. Another plus for the game is the sleek design of Palmont, and all the cars you'll encounter on your way to the top. This is simply a gorgeous looking racing game, and this is only trumped by the live action cutscenes sprinkled throughout the story. The audio is also very strong with unique music tracks for each style of car you drive, and solid voice acting from all the characters that will cross your path at some point in the game. Unfortunately, even with several dozen varied races across 4 unique areas, and even with all those customization options, once you complete all the races and become the top dog in the yard of Palmont, the game is all but complete, and lacks any real replay value in single player mode. You could play with a friend locally, but it gets tiresome quickly, and due to the lack of the Wii's online play at launch, Wii owners lost out on some great unique multiplayer matches that were seen on other systems at the time. Another sore point for this title are the controls. Much like many racing games for the Wii, Need for Speed Carbon was the first to utilize the holding the Wiimote sideways technique and then tilting the controller to turn. Depending on your sensitivity settings, though, the controls were very hard to fine-tune and lacked the natural feel you might get better from a controller or an actual steering wheel accessory. Playing this again for the first time in probably 3 years or so to do my review was quite the shock to the system, as I crashed constantly while trying to adjust. Despite these problems, if you could get used to the controls and don't mind the lack of replayability, Need for Speed Carbon for the Wii was a solid racing game and worthy of at least a rental.
Oh, doesn't get much closer than that.